Good evening, ladies and gents. It's your boy Silver. Today we're going to do something different. I have a co-host. Looks like my girl Jen. So it's an interesting topic. We're going to touch on the topic called interracial dating. And the reason why we're going to touch on this topic is because I did this before, but I did it by myself. So I actually have the opportunity to have a female's perspective, Caucasian female that is also Latina. So, interesting stuff. That'll be really good. Damn, I can't seem to get this shit together. Alright. So, I wanted to ask you a couple questions, Jen. And first and foremost, welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for joining us. And I wanted to ask you if you've ever dated anyone of the opposite race, what have been your perspectives or your, some of your experiences on, if you've been around females, specifically black chicks, if they've ever given you any backlash and how you've handled the situation. Have you, just let things go, or, what was your take on that? First and foremost, have they ever said anything to you, or, indirectly, or how did that work?
When a group of them are together, they definitely talk indirectly. They make comments. So depending on what mood I'm in, depends on what reaction they get out of me.
Okay.
Because I do like to entertain it, or I'll turn around and be like, "Yeah, he looks good, don't he?"
Yeah.
Or "Yeah, I'm lucky," or something like that. Or sometimes I'll just be like, "Whatever, and just leave it."
Just leave it. Yeah. Well, it's funny that you said that, because I'm kind of the same way, and I usually like to kind of feel things too. So I'll pay a little extra more attention to the person I'm with, and let them give me a kiss or hug them, or just kind of joke around, and just kind of put things more in front, and just kind of turn up a little more per se, and be a little more like boisterous with our activities. But yeah, I find that also it's kind of the same way for white guys. They usually don't like it either. And I found it really, really ironic that a lot of times what they'll do is kind of the same thing that the black chicks do, but the difference is the white guys, they won't really be as vocal, but they'll kind of do subliminal things and little, kind of things that, a little more under the radar and not as out in the open. They won't obviously verbally say anything, but kind of look at you and give you stupid looks and stuff like that. Like, I remember one time I was with an ex of mine, and we were at an amusement park, and a guy gave me a dirty look, and she actually told me after the fact. I had no idea that it occurred, and I asked her, "Well, why didn't you say anything right then and there?" She's like, "Well, because I didn't want any issues or anything," because she knows how I am. And that's usually how we are as guys, especially ethnic guys, I should say. We're pretty protective, and so we'll protect our females. So it's actually a good thing that she didn't, because I kind of can go off the cuff a little sometimes if somebody's being offensive. But that's how it's supposed to be, regardless. I don't want people to feel like only this race does this, or only this race does that. If you have someone that is a significant other, and you care about them and they care about you, you guys should always go to bat and be ready to go to war for each other. I just learned that's how specifically colored men or ethnic men are when it comes to their white women, because we're really very emotional and very protective, which is how I find that I think that's kind of one of the multiple reasons why white women really like black men are really interested, have that interest in the other races, because of the protection factor and, you know, just the attention thing that, you know, we pay a lot of attention to our women, and we like to make sure that they feel protected and things like that. So that's just me, and that's just what some of my experience is. Now, you said something that was really interesting about depending on what mood you're in. So that's funny because I'm always in eternal mood. So if someone says something rude or does something rude, typically, well, I take that back. So depending on the environment that I'm in.
Right.
So if I'm in an actually classy environment where, you know, everyone's pretty much minding business and I don't really want to make or stir a scene, then I probably will just, you know, kind of let it roll off my back. And I'll say something sarcastic though. But, you know, if it's one of those environments where, you know, obviously it's a bunch of hood rats and things like that, then, you know, I'm going to turn up. I'm with Jen on that. So I'll probably turn up, you know, and things like that. Now, you said something about your race. Now, you said that you are white and also you have some Latin ethnicity in you. But all in all, if a couple actually seen us like a white guy, pretty much going to look at you as a white female. And, you know, all right, so my question is, are you, you know, do you see yourself being able to handle the long-term good and bad, the good, bad, and ugly that comes with interracial dating? Because, you know, there's going to be those times where you're going to have those ugly looks by females, and, you know, the black chicks are going to probably say things or, you know, make little sarcastic remarks. You know, have you thought of those things to be able to say that you will be able to stick it out for that?
Yeah, I have a really strong personality, so I definitely am aware of the positive and negative things that could or may, that come along with it. So
yeah, because I mean, I can tell you, it's a constant battle. You know, depending on where you are. Obviously, you know, you gotta be, like Jen said, just pretty much have a strong mind and just know what you want. Jealousy is gonna be there. You just kind of want to know what you want and just be strong-minded and just not even, you know, don't fall victim to the stupidity. Obviously, if you're doing something right and you're an attractive couple, then you're going to have haters. If you're doing the right thing, then you have a bunch of haters. If you don't, then it's time to reevaluate your life, because you're not doing the right thing if you don't have a bunch of haters following you. So, particularly with good-looking people, obviously, you know, Jen is a good-looking female. I know I'm a good-looking guy. So, you know, you'll have those kind of things and people that will, you know, have things to say, you know, little negative remarks. And just all in all, it's just more times than none, I find that the women have things to say, especially black chicks. They're just boisterous and obnoxious and just have things to say just because they're jealous of a person's happiness. So you never want to let anyone dictate your happiness and your involvement with who you're involved with versus someone that's on the outside that has no involvement. Now, I did want to ask you something about family, because family is one of those things that a lot of times can make or break a relationship, and more times than none, if you have a mom and dad that's really crucial and you're really close to them, sometimes it can kind of separate or kind of end a relationship. What is your take on the family thing? Do you think that your family would drive a wedge in between you and your significant other of another race, or does it not bother you?
for me personally, it doesn't bother me because I feel like this. If I'm with them, that's what I want to be with. I'm happy. They treat me good. Then, regardless of what my family feels, if my family truly loves me, they're going to be happy for me because I'm happy.
Right. yeah, being supportive is, kind of what Jen is saying, and I agree with that. And I pretty much live the same way. Like I have a pretty multicultural family, so I've been fortunate enough to not have any kind of not a lot of racism in my family. I know it lives there. Obviously, everyone has a little bit of prejudice in themselves or in their family. I wouldn't say everyone. I take that back. Not everyone, because me personally, I'm not prejudiced at all against another race, like at all, because well, clearly I get along with the opposite race. But I think everyone's family has a little bit of prejudice in it, because you have those that are just so stupid or ignorant to how the world works, where everyone thinks that a lot of those people that are ignorant and prejudiced just feel like the world should work one way, and there should be this sector of people and that sector of people, and there shouldn't be anyone crossing the borders or the lines of the racial boundaries, which there is none, because God made all people, and people all bleed red, and we all eat and sleep, and so if you're happy, don't let anyone dictate your happiness and your pursuit to happiness and your pursuit to happiness with your significant other. You agree?
I definitely agree.
Especially if they're on the outside looking in, like I said. If they're not sleeping and crapping in the same place that you live in, and they're not sharing the involvement in the family and the household that you're in, then they don't matter. Family, it's a fine line. I can kind of give my perspective on it. It really doesn't matter as much. Mom and dad, yeah, they have a very, very big bearing on a lot of the things that you may feel. But all in all, their opinion doesn't matter when it comes to your partner. What they should do is, if they really love you or care about you, kind of what Jen says, they should just be supportive. And if they don't, then apparently they don't really want to be a part of your life, because real parents are going to support their children in anything that they're doing that is positive. So if the person's not harming you or causing you any harm or causing your family any harm, and they're caring about you and they're taking care of you and they love you and you love them, and they take care of their responsibilities, then hey, what can you say? Other than that, last topic or last portion of this that I wanted to touch on is children. So, mixed children. So,
Beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful babies.
That part. But not only that, have you ever considered yourself being a candidate for those mixtures?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you feel like you would be prepared for, like I said, the outcome? Because once you create another person, it kind of goes outside of just you being able to back away from something if it's uncomfortable for you. At that point, you're invested,
Right.
and then you kind of have to, just stand your ground and stay there. Are you? Do you find yourself? Do you feel like that you would be prepared? Do you think it would be something that would be kind of an issue for you, or what?
It wouldn't be an issue for me. I'm definitely prepared. I'm protective anyways, so I'm all in.
All right, so there you have it, guys. She is definitely blackened. So, for all those guys that were wondering, yeah, she's officially all in. She's all in. So, and everyone already know that I'm all in. Call it what you want. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, especially the fact that when you pick someone that you're interested in, you have to be prepared to have that happen. So we're gonna take a look at what we got, and that is what it is.
Yes, I'm so done.
My battery is dying anyway.
Why does it keep shutting off? Do you only have so much time to do
no. Oh, you know what? It's not done.
it?
It's just the battery.
Recording?
The battery is just low.
So the flash went off.
Yeah, the flash went off.
Oh, it's still going.
It is still going. Well, we're gonna cut off, guys. Yeah. So, anyways, still going. Don't be trying to duck out of here. You ain't getting out of this. Guys, we're gonna call it because it looks like the battery's low. So until next time, this is Silver signing out. See ya.
See ya.
Bye, Jen.